Have you ever felt like you were doing all the right things to self-improve, but you still feel like you're stuck? If so, you are not alone. In today's video, we are going to talk about how self-improvement sometimes can keep us in a bit of a loop and really get stuck in. And we're going to talk about three main things to actually help you move beyond this and talk about why you might be stuck and how we can move beyond this to really kind of realize our dreams and things that we want to move forward with. So hi, my name is Krista and welcome to my channel. And today I want to kind of share my story a little bit about how I have lived this, and that's why I feel like I am a good person to be able to talk about this video, because I have lived this experience myself too. So I want to be able to share some of my wisdom, some of the things that I've noticed about myself, in the hopes that maybe if you're in the same situation, I might be able to kind of guide you and give you some pointers, learning from what I've learned as well too. So in the past few years, yes, I have done a lot of self-improvement. I have read the books, I have taken the courses, I've worked with the mentors, I've listened to countless podcasts, I've done it all. And I have felt like I do have much more self-awareness than I did a few years ago, definitely. And I'm actually quite proud that I have kind of got to this point. However, I started to see this kind of quiet discomfort at a certain point, which kind of led me to believe that, okay, it's enough. You've consumed enough. It's time to actually kind of embody some of this wisdom that you've learned, because I was starting to feel like it was easier to consume than to kind of move forward. So that's what I want to share in this video, some of my lessons and some of the things that might help you move forward as well too, if you're in this perpetual loop of kind of improving and consuming content in the hopes of improving yourself or kind of working on yourself, all that kind of stuff that is quite common nowadays. All right, so like I said, yeah, there was a moment where I'm like, okay, I need to kind of stop this right now too. It was starting to feel uncomfortable in my body. My inner wisdom was telling me it was time to move forward. And I was just starting to delay what I knew to be true. And I kind of recognized that, and I knew it was time. And so that's what first point we'll want to talk about is how self-improvement can become a little bit of a loop, right? Just never ending. There's always another course. There's always another book. There's always another podcast interview to listen to. There's always that shiny new object thing that's just kind of in the horizon, where you think, okay, this will be it. This will be the last thing, and then I'll have it all figured out. I'll have all the puzzle pieces connecting, and it'll all make sense. But again, it's a bit of a distraction, and it is, and it's a way to avoid action, right? And personally, for me too, my ego was telling me that, all this stuff I'm consuming, it's good. Like, I'm growing, I'm evolving, and yes, I was, and yes, it was certainly helpful, but it starts to kind of almost, you start to believe what your ego's saying as well too. And I knew what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to be able to guide and support women with some of the things I've learned over the last few years. I knew I wanted to do that. But I also knew me just consuming more information, having more stuff in my head, I wasn't doing anything about it. And if I really want to be able to support and guide women the way I want to, I need to take some action. And how are they going to find me, right? They're not going to find me. So hence, obviously, this is why I'm doing these videos as well too. I am now taking action and sharing some of the wisdom and insights that I've learned along the way too. So just knowing that self-improvement can become a loop, it can become a big distraction, and it also can be a way to avoid action, right? I think we can all see this well too. You feel like you're being productive, you really do, but it's just a way of kind of, you're not really moving forward. Okay, so that's the first point I want to really kind of highlight as well too, because I think it's important to recognize and see if you're experiencing the same thing as well. All right. So the second point I want to talk about was why this happens, right? Why do we all probably have the same story with this as well too? So oftentimes, most of us want to have some clarity before we take action. We want to know that A, B, C, D will happen, and then everything will work out well. We want to have the certainty that if I do this action, this is the right action and I will get this result. You want to also, but it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way at all. It's to take action, we need to take one step. And once we take that first step, the second step will be shown. And then third step. Well, we have to take that first step to begin with. And also, we also kind of fear we're making the wrong move. Like, okay, what do I do? Like, I don't want to blow it. I don't want to maybe waste money on this. I don't want to start this and then that go nowhere. And so we just kind of get caught in this kind of endless loop because it actually feels safer kind of doing nothing than kind of putting ourselves out there or taking the action that we need to take as well too. It's easier, like, let's be honest, it's easier to be in learning mode than it is to be in action mode. So we often kind of get stuck in that. And I totally found myself in that as well too. I just didn't know where to start too. So I knew I wanted to support and guide women. And I'm thinking to myself, I was totally overwhelmed. I'm like, do I do YouTube? Do I do Instagram? Do I like Substack? Like, I didn't even know what to do. It was so overwhelming. And of course I followed people and tried to guide me, and everyone's giving you different opinions and ideas and strategies. And I had to kind of just stop, and it was just too much. And, again, I didn't want to make mistakes, but I had to kind of just stop. I questioned myself, am I going to look silly? Am I going to be cringy doing this as well too? So you get in your own head a little bit, you become a little bit of self-sabotage yourself as well too. But, again, we just want that clarity. We want that certainty. And that's our ego speaking to us. Our ego wants the deadlines. It wants to know this will all work out. But our spirit and our soul don't need that confirmation. They're just leading you. They're guiding you. They're showing you the little map, but our ego gets in the way. So again, it's quite normal. I experience this myself too, but it's just kind of taking a step back and realizing what is going on, kind of having the awareness to see what is happening and not letting our ego, certain mind, wanting to have all the answers, having it all laid out for us, stop us in our tracks, because we'll go nowhere if that's the case. So again, that's the second point I think that is worth highlighting as well too. All right, so next we want to talk about the shift, which is, I think, an important part as well too. At some point you need to, you don't need more content. You get to the point where you kind of know, you can feel it in your body. You're like, okay, I don't need more. I really don't need more stuff. I need to listen to myself. I need to listen to the whispers. I need to see where I'm being guided and let that kind of serve me. Let that take me along my journey, and to really act on what you know, what you already know. So a lot of things I knew what to do, I just wasn't doing it. So start to act on what you know to do. It really begins there too. That's where the shift starts to happen. And it's kind of a really nice feeling as well too. And your personal growth will ask you to stop consuming and to start creating as well too. All right. And again, this is, for my videos here too, doing this video, like huge learning curve for me as well too. I don't know how, I certainly haven't figured it all out. I had to learn a lot. There's a lot to go, more so than I knew, into creating even a YouTube video. There's obviously the idea, scripting it out a little bit, having a framework, learning how to record this, upload it. And there's a million other things I'm still learning as well too, my editing. But again, I'm still taking action. I know how to talk into a video, or at least I'm trying to learn how to do this, and I know how to upload it, and that's enough. The next steps will certainly come, but I didn't want to paralyze myself and not do anything. So again, just taking imperfect action, aligned action. My soul was telling me this is what I wanted to spread to the world, to women that are in this situation, and I'm doing that. So I'm right with you as well too, and that's why I want to kind of share this as well too. So again, just taking those little baby steps, those aligned actions where you're being called to move towards, and it's going to be different for everybody else. Everyone's going to have their own journey, their own way. It's just hearing those little whispers, hearing them, trusting them, and then acting on them. Okay, it all works that way as well too. So I just would say to you, just start to act on what feels right for you. Okay, are you willing to kind of listen to that little voice? Are you ready to listen to that little voice And are you ready to act upon it as well too? Because knowing one thing and you need to act upon it, okay? And so that's kind of how that's how it all kind of evolves, the arc of it as well too. So also I want to share with you, in case this video has been helpful for you and it resonates and it's kind of maybe making you think a little bit too, I will tag, or I will put another video in here, so you have access to another video, which I did is too. It's kind of why so many women feel disconnected from themselves. That's another video I created, which I think would be a nice kind of supplement to this as well too. So if you are having a hard time kind of hearing that little voice, if you're disconnected, that might give you some guidance on how to start as well too. I think it all kind of ties into one another as well too. All right. So thank you for listening to this video. I hope it is helpful. I hope it gives you some idea and frameworks to know that, we can stop kind of consuming content all the way. And it might be keeping you stuck. It might be keeping you stuck. So there is a different way. And I think it's something to consider as well too. So if you're struggling with this, or you have any questions about this, and you want some help, you can certainly reach out. I will put a link in my description, and you can contact me if it's something that feels right for you as well too. So I will end this video today. I'm wishing you all a lovely day. I hope this has been helpful, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good day. Bye-bye.